started, so we'll see if he joins us. We are. We're gonna get a close-up of Stan.
Pardon me?
Well, if he leans back just.
Ooh, we can see
perfect.
it.
Yeah. Why do you just?
No, you can sit anywhere
You
you
don't
want.
want to see him see my, I'm gonna let him see the back of my hand.
Okay.
Let's move down there.
No, you do sit wherever you want, Mr. Green.
Red swans, he doesn't bite.
Oh, we really swans.
Here, first move that over. There you go.
Couldn't get my single.
All right, well, I think we have a quorum. We're ready to go. We'll see if Rob joins us. He sent me a message. He may be running late. We'll see. So I'll call this meeting to order. This is the Downtown Committee meeting. We're meeting today, October 23rd, 2025, 9:30 a.m. We're going to hard stop at 10:30 today. So we have 1 hour or less. Would like to call it to order and then do a roll call. For now, do the roll call.
Yes, Your Honor. We have member Sam Zenz,
Here.
member Katie Hewitt,
Here.
member Robert Taylor,
Here.
member Larissa Fry,
Here.
member Stan Green,
Here.
and Chair Ed McCurdy.
Here. Thank you, Fernando. So it looks like we got everybody here. We have one absent, but he's double booked and sent a message to us. So David will not be joining us today. Oral communications is the next thing on the list. So this is a time for anyone to speak on any scheduled matter unless additional time is authorized, limited to 3 minutes. Is there anybody that would like to address the Downtown Committee? Not seeing anyone, we can move on to scheduled matters. All right, so the first scheduled matter that we have is approval of the draft minutes from September 25. So just leave that to the team. See if you guys approve and make them any motions you might have. Well, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the draft minutes. Need a second?
I'll second.
All right, we got a second from Stan. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, we're gonna move on to number 2. And what I'd like to do with number 2 as we go through this, it has reports and updates on short-term goals. I'm gonna give you guys an update on the Heritage Committee and some things that are going on that cross over into what we're doing. And then we'll do some follow-ups with the alleyways, the dumpsters, and maybe do a little brainstorming on the trash pickups. And that'll give us a good segue into our next brainstorming session. I'll kick it off though. I'd like to give you guys some updates. The Heritage Committee is an ad hoc committee. So it's not online, so you guys can't watch it. And we're providing information that's coming out of that as we reach conclusions. And you guys saw in the newspaper, we have a logo for our 2025 that came out of the Heritage Committee. And so there'll be more things like that coming out. But I will tell you this on the inside track. The Heritage Committee we got up to 16 people in the last meeting. And it lasted almost 2 hours. And there was a lot of energy in the room. We had PUSD, we had Burton, we had PC leadership. We had Neverham art students. We had an art teacher here. We had representatives from the museum and also from the Daughters of the American Revolution, and also a gentleman from the Confederate organization, reenactor. It was a lively meeting. And we came up with a tagline for next year, and it'll help us in this committee too, and that is bringing American history to life. And we came up with this because we're thinking on terms of the example we have downtown, where we're going to do a history walk through the flags. And the idea is that we may even be able to get some reenactors to dress in period garb to do the training and bring the history to life. The schools are really excited about that. I know we have one school that's going to be painting fire hydrants this week. And we have the art team is now working on at least 3 murals that they are working on, and they're going to look at painting maybe the electrical boxes that we own that are by the intersections. So they'll be proposing those as things that we can do for work downtown.
Was the art from PC?
It's the PC art team, yes.
Yeah, because they offered a volunteer time
Yes.
for murals too. So.
Yeah, they're really excited about this. It's a very lively discussion. It's not on YouTube, but you can take my word for it. That was the bulk of our conversation. So great updates here because now we have a tagline, bringing American history to life. We'll celebrate that all year. We are very excited about the flag walk and we're going to be able to start that soon. So we'll talk about that in our brainstorming. The updates on the painting. They're making great progress. They still got a ways to go, but the deadline is still to have that done and the flag's up before the parade that's coming up in November. So hearing good things about the parade too and a possible flyover that we're going to get this year. So even though the government shut down, we're working some angles to actually enhance our downtown parade, which is great for everybody and it really connects well with the downtown committee update too. I did walk the alleyways. Talked to a number of people myself, looking around at possibilities of, and got some great feedback from folks around town about the possibility of improving our trash enclosures, maybe locking some of our trash cans. There's some opportunities there, and I think together we might be able to brainstorm that and talk about that as a maybe a longer term solution for downtown. Because as we look at our parking and we see that we're cleaning up our downtown, we have people that may be walking through the alleys and we want to make sure that's a safe and clean pedestrian walkway. It's already getting better. So I will tell you guys this, I'm very excited because people are watching these meetings and the focus that we had on law enforcement, safe and clean, which is our objectives. People are talking about this. Folks within the city are looking closer at the cleanliness. Law enforcement is looking at those things that we talked about and we're continuing to emphasize that. I'm not coming back with actions that I can share with you or completed things, but you can already see that things are getting cleaner. And there's some great conversations that are happening with law enforcement.
Code enforcement was out picking up all the old mattresses and washers and dryers and everything else, but they had a concern that they're a little short-handed. And so they brought that up, that they could really use some help.
Well, we were talking about that last time in depth with the washing machine and all that stuff. So great feedback.
Yeah,
So
pick up though.
all right, it's good to get all that stuff on the record, and I want you guys to understand that everybody's watching this and what we say and what we brainstorm, and this is driving some great conversations about town. This is a very important committee, and I appreciate all of your input, so great job.
To add on to the limited resources with code enforcement, and there are limited resources, and we're discussing, what adjustments might be made, but they are shifting schedules. There's multiple priorities going on, and one of the priorities over the last 2 weeks is focusing on the illegal sidewalk vending. We do want to protect the local brick and mortar businesses, and we saw an influx of sidewalk vending, and so we asked that code enforcement adjust their schedule and focus in on addressing the influx of sidewalk vending.
But I'd like to make a suggestion, if it may not be the time for it yet, but 2-hour parking. When you guys did that road construction in front of us, you guys took the south parking lot. You made that 2-hour parking, and then behind me, you guys made that 2-hour parking too. That worked absolutely wonderful. And I don't see why we shouldn't be able to do that all down Main Street. Having a code enforcer actually being out there and 2-hour parking during business hours, they'd also be able to monitor the alleyways for illegal dumping as well. So there'd be a direct link for transit issues, people dropping trash off. 2 hours is more than enough, I think, for most of our businesses to be able to conduct business. It's just you have a lot of people that park on Main Street and the side streets, and their cars are there for weeks at a time. So I've got 2 cars that have been on my street on Oak Street for about 3 weeks now, and they're all from the hotel. And it makes parking a little difficult.
You mentioned a hotel, what
Where you
hotel
back
are you talking
the
about?
Right next door to Glenwood,
Yep,
the Glenwood.
they park out in front of the risks all day long.
Literally like a hotel, you could rent a room?
No, it's an apartment complex.
Upstairs, right?
Glenwood
Upstairs
Apartments,
on-
hotel, artist association. And they
Still bring back the old meter maid.
park in front of my store and probably in front of the palace.
Yep.
24-hour shifts. They're always out front.
There's 2 cars been there for probably about 3 weeks now.
Okay, so what I did, ironically, I put that in the parking lot because 2-hour parking is a great suggestion. I think we need to continue to have
I
discussion.
think during business hours is
Right.
more than appropriate. That way the other people can use the spots for shopping. You know, they want to go in, grab a Subway sandwich, they can. It's quick and easy. They have to park there. Go in and get a coffee or furniture may take a little longer, but I don't think 2 hours is that long.
I know we want to address this. I think that's a great suggestion. There might be some other good ones too that we could add to that. And then we can ask the staff to go back and produce some options for us that we might be able to take a look at. That sound-
Repeat offenders though generally get ticketed and it might be a source of income to help pay for code enforcement.
That's what I,
Well, I'm not opposed to that, but the goal is to make it a place that you want to go to and make it safe and clean. And if that fits into that and the other things, we will do it and we'll do it as a team. I don't know if you have enough information to go back and get options, but I think we're getting to where we might be able to do that. All right, terrific, great discussion. And it's always good to just, when you have something on your mind, that's a good idea, bring it up.
Mr. Manager, see, on the code enforcement, can we get a defined list of what codes that your code enforcers are enforcing? I think it'd be nice for us to have an idea what it is that they're looking at.
Okay.
That might help us, help them a little bit. And maybe we can discuss maybe some additional codes that we feel might need to be added to the list.
Maybe what code enforcement is prioritizing, get that list and then.
prioritizing or what their actual.
So you can-
Maybe both, I mean, maybe the code list is 10 pages long, we're gonna look through that.
Yeah,
But on the flip side, it might be, I'd probably like to look through that. Maybe there are a couple on page 9 that need to be more of a priority.
And we can refine those, that's in scope. So I think we could talk about that and make some suggestions.
I think, yeah, in the past, it seems like, that the city would only enforce a code if someone, complained, basically. And so, that was a little, obviously things didn't get done. So, if, I don't know which direction we're going, but if that's it, and there are code enforcers and we know what those codes are, then maybe we can help, direct those guys.
And it might be a
Or I-
combination, right? Because we're all code enforcement. So I love the idea that we set the tone of what to expect downtown.
Yeah.
And then we have some focal points. So I like that. It's a great discussion. Anybody else want to piggyback on that? All right, great comments. Okay, so we had a great, we don't have the one from last week, great brainstorming from last month. We'll continue to keep that. We have some documented, I know it's summarized in here. What we would do, which is great. We might need to provide these, Fernando, to everybody. We have some copies. That way we can stay on track and then also look forward and backward as we go through the process. The second one that we have on here, we did our brainstorming for number 1 and got our feet wet and already making a difference with that. I think the parking discussion is a great segue to come from last week into this week. So we'll continue to build on that. And I really want to spend a little bit of time today brainstorming with you guys on community unity and engagement. Like we did last week, and get a list and start getting some focus on what we might work on.
Mr. Chair, before we get into that, I did have one more update to provide.
Sure, go right ahead.
maybe understanding there was a discussion regarding the homeless individual or an individual that spends most of his day on Main Street and has some mental health issues. And so I have been meeting with the police department. That individual received some help over the weekend. And we are taking the appropriate steps to address this individual. But if there are concerns, like hanging out in front of your business,
Walking into it,
please call or text me, and I will relay that information. The police department knows that this is a priority, and we are working on it. I am receiving reports on what they're doing and how many calls. And maybe at a future meeting, I can share some of the reports that I'm receiving on what's being taken place. But I did want to at least touch on that individual that we all know, and that assistance was provided over the weekend, and we hope that we're on the right path to finding another place for that individual.
We're about solutions. Thank you for that update, Mr. City Manager. I really appreciate the focus that the city has had on this and continued focus. And I know it's been a challenge for a while, and now we seem to be making some great progress. So we appreciate that update. And I know we'll be able to.
It
Go ahead.
seems like it. I notice even around, because I do a lot. All live from where I live, all this stuff, and they're still around, but it's not, it's not like boom, it's right in the face around like Rite Aid or CVS and grocery outlet and that. And I think the magnet is the navigation center is so close by, they kind of hang around with it.
Yeah, that's true. And that's where they get services, and that's where they can take a shower and those
Yeah.
things. And so it's
So-
naturally going to be.
But it doesn't seem to be as many bodies floating around there as there was, say, 6 months, 8 months ago.
As we focus on this, we're also focused on getting those folks the help that they need and reunifying them with their families and connecting them with resources. So I think this focus is really important for us. And informally, over the last few years, I think it's been a sensitive issue. We don't need to be so sensitive about that, is to not address the real issues here and the underlying problems and help people. So thank you for that update. Anyone else want to comment on
I
that?
think the city's done a good job, and it's improving. So Rich, just keep
Yeah.
hammering away, man.
Much like the shifting schedules for code enforcement to address certain situations that come up, I've asked for the same for our SMART team to adjust their schedules to address some concerns that I've seen, and I think many of you've seen, as far as individuals sleeping on the street or
Behind a
the
trash
sidewalk.
can?
Yeah. So, yeah, we're gonna adjust our schedules so that we visit them when they're there instead of, the schedules weren't aligning so that they can address the problem.
I've actually seen this already in play during the business hour days where police or SMART team are engaging these individuals. Which has really cut down on, I think, on the traffic on Main Street. But I noticed the other night, I was downtown after hours, and it was like they came out of the woodworks. I was like, okay, it was
well.
Like cockroaches.
Well, it's like that old song, that freaks come out at night.
Well, I will tell you, I have a camera behind my building that is triggered by anybody that walks by. And last night was the most productive night probably since I opened. It went off. I don't know I could watch what was going on out there. But last night behind my building, there was a lot of activity.
What are they doing?
Last night?
Yeah.
Well, there's somebody living behind the dumpster, has been there about 3 weeks. Yesterday I had somebody come pick up a mattress. There was a guy sitting outside by another dumpster smoking crack. And the customer made a comment to me. And there's the black guy, whom I don't mind, there's a mirror on my back door. He likes to look at himself in the mirror, and he engages with that person. So last night was a lot of activity for some weird reason. Do I
Okay.
call the police when that's going on and have them? I mean, I
Yes.
hate to be the call, but a drive-by last night might have been helpful.
Well, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. They
Please
don't know, they can't fix.
call right away. If you don't get a response that you feel like you should have, please let me know.
I've always gotten responses. Last night was, and it's busy a lot, but last night was really bad.
Oh, okay, good information.
Interesting.
All right.
That's
I
interesting.
appreciate the city taking more of a human approach to this. I mean, obviously, these guys are a pain and they're dangerous and something's got to happen. And that's been the sensitive part of this whole thing. These are people. They have
Yes.
mental illnesses. They need to be dealt with, but in a way that is that helps them first and foremost, because they need help, but at the same time, obviously cleans up the area. So I appreciate that. And are we gonna go back to the dumpster alley
We
thing? or
could,
did
I
we-
think we could probably start on there if you want.
I just wanna
It
make,
might be a good way to go from the last meeting to this meeting.
make sure we.
So if you could just hold that thought for a minute and I'll just ask if anyone else has any more comments before we move on. All right, so let's do this. Knowing that that is an opportunity that, and especially with the important information we just received, do you guys want to spend a few minutes talking about trash cans and the trash enclosures and brainstorming that, just so we can get that going and start moving on that? And then we'll go into the community union engagement. We still have some time. I think we can do both.
Sure.
Okay.
Everybody has, what are those, like 5-yard dumpsters everybody has in their. For their business, they find like the
They're shared.
5-yarders.
They, not each business does not have their own. A block.
Community behind.
Oh, is it?
Behind my building, there are 3 brown separated, and then I have a blue, which I like to separate because it creates a shelter, because they can lift the lids over and it rests on the cement and they can live back there. So I moved the blue one over to an empty slot, but the trash man moved it back. He didn't like it over there. So there are,
You'd say blue, is that like for
I think it's
cycles?
I have a lot of-
An intention. You guys, so there's the
recycled.
larger dumpsters.
They're both big.
They're both 5-yard
So they're the
dumpsters.
5-yard. I never
Some
paid that much
businesses
attention.
have
to that back there.
recycles
I have
and a
recycled.
brown, and some haven't gotten their recycle bins yet.
I have a lot of
You don't have a
cardboard.
recycle bin?
they
Oh, you
can
got,
shut
oh,
out
you do.
one.
You finally got your recycle bin.
Yeah, man, it's so.
But now having 2 next to each other, they pop the lids open and pull them out, and there's a nice little.
Yeah, so it makes they
Yeah, it's very nice.
on the brick wall behind it probably or something. Yeah, I can. So is there, I don't know, Ray's gonna look into retrofitting the
It
lids.
confines the space.
Cause you guys don't wanna be going out there with, and play unlock a lock all day long. Well, you can, I
Even
guess.
But we can lock them at night.
At night,
That kept
yeah,
on-
that's just where I was gonna go.
So we
Well,
don't have a-
you can unlock them in the morning and
He
then
would have
lock
been-
them at the end of the day.
Yeah.
He would have taken over the
That
program.
shouldn't be that hectic. Just put a password.
We weren't over that.
I walked that, so I wasn't there either, so that would, you wouldn't care.
That's it. 8 years?
The problem. with
I had a
those-
memory come up the other day,
They'll.
where we,
Almost.
yeah.
I don't know if you've had any problems, if you had a locking lid and it being broken.
Yeah.
Pretty
Well, I
much.
have my own.
Okay, I've probably seen that. I just, you know,
Stays long all the time.
I'm not looking, yeah, you got,
My wife's hair salon's open.
brown one is for regular
It's open.
trash, garbage, the blue is recycled.
Okay,
Behind our business, we have 2, one in the subway parking lot, it's a blue and a brown, and then one at the end of the block behind the bridal shop, which is a blue and a brown. You have 6 businesses along there, I believe. While Subway has Subway, the new hair salon, Insurica,
that's right.
Calico.
No,
Us.
this should be timed. Sometimes
Does Calico share the subway one, or do they share?
Oh,
Calico is supposed to share the subway. All of Sunny's tenants are supposed to share the subway.
It doesn't hurt the thing.
All of, we are in the middle.
It's
We
all
don't
like
have an
a-
assigned one. We were
I
just
have
told
a
to pick whichever one.
I have a lock that's off of it, but he took a shower.
So I guess you could.
That's partial.
I get charged, yeah.
I hate to take
And
that away.
then,
But
so
we have-
there's
but we
like,
have
8
it.
there's 10 businesses.
So-
But I've seen him walking out with
Yeah.
it.
Sure.
So I think we need
You
to
share with the
simplify.
bridal store and,
That's
I have a lock.
a good next
Oh,
step.
Yeah, I have a lock.
oh, the Mud House?
Very good feedback.
Really? And whatever the business is, the bike shop.
And the rest of Porterville.
And well, Subway does too.
This is, it's a very relaxed meeting, great conversation.
Yeah.
So one of the things I'm hearing, I wrote down 3 things, and one of the things I've heard in feedback was that people share those. And so we'd have to have some sort of a locking
Well, that's
sharing
my,
program.
that's my concern and question. A lot of times, the blue bin only gets picked up on Wednesdays. But there's a lot of times that for some reason it doesn't get picked up. And it's full every Wednesday and then some. Not all from businesses that share it, but from other people that put stuff in there. And a lot of times the boxes aren't broken down, so that doesn't help. When I see those boxes, I pull them out and throw them wherever I feel like throwing them that day. So somebody, or I just do it myself. But you
So
can tell,
you're throwing trash in the alley?
yeah. I am.
All right, we found one of the problems.
Yeah, that was just.
And I'll tell you what, anytime I have something in my garage that needs to go somewhere, I put it in the alley and it's gone in about 15 minutes.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just teasing you. It's,
We're keeping our eye on you.
What I'd like to see is actually a little more enforcement. When the bin's full and I know that it's gonna be a problem, I'll call the city and I'll say, hey, how come it didn't get picked up today? Well, yeah, we can come by tomorrow, yeah, whatever, for whatever reason, somebody's in the alleyway, so the truck just doesn't have any, the drivers, I love them, I know a couple of them, but they don't have any patience, they'll just blow by you, and they won't come back for another week.
well, we're becoming more service oriented, so there could be some cultural changes here. Let's influence that
Okay.
positively.
No, that would be great, like I said, if they're coming down and I'm out there, I'll move the bin out for them, I know these guys, their kids, my wife taught their kids, you know, we're all friends.
We're just being a good neighbor,
But-
right?
Exactly. But sometimes it's somebody's in the alleyway and that's what the alleyway's for, to unload and load and you know, you're there for a couple of minutes. But they won't, you know, they won't.
Time,
pick
pick
up.
up time, they're not gonna wait.
The problem is now when I call and say, hey, guys, you know, you didn't get picked up today. Can you come back by, I can't come back, I'm gonna come back tomorrow, but you're gonna get charged for it. I'm gonna get charged. And I've done that several times where I just go, you know what, I'll pay for it.
Well, and I'll tell you
But-
what, for me, it's even more difficult because I don't pay my trash bill. My building owner does. So they won't dump it for me because I don't pay the bill. So they just tell me, no, call your landlord and have her call us, which is very difficult
That's
because
an
she's
issue,
busy.
yeah.
No, that doesn't, that's
So I'm okay.
not senseless.
I'm okay with making the call and getting it picked up, but I wish there was a way that everyone could share in that, instead of me always just having to pay that bill.
Well, I want to make sure that it just gets picked up and then we don't have to do that. How's that?
Yeah.
That would be
That's
better.
where I'd like to go.
That's where we.
Let's go to the root of this problem if we can.
That would
Well,
be
Again,
better.
that would be the exception, right?
Sure,
You know, this is a little differently as this is residential, like this has been about 3 years ago. All of a sudden, they're not getting my blue can. And the lid was up about that high, not down, the neighbor had the damn lid was like this, and they dumped that one, right?
you were too high.
But I was too high, it was just about like that.
That.
And so I called down there and the gal wasn't real friendly about it. And so she pissed me off and I said, she goes, well, you can bring it to the city yard down here and you can dump it. I said, I gotta put it in my pickup, drive all the damn way to the city yard to dump that. I said, where's your desk? And I'm gonna bring it in there and dump it on your desk, lady. And
Well,
she,
it's nice to know they're not playing favorites, right? So, I mean, you're sitting.
no, I wasn't saying, this has been about 3 years ago. Yeah, that kind of, man, I got my hackles up. I said, I'm gonna bring that and dump it right on your damn desk.
Well, this is a good example. So we remember things for years, right? And so as we're changing culture, we're going to get all this out in the open. We're going to talk about it. That has an impact on the way Stan perceives the city. And so we've lost some trust with Stan and that. And so, Mr. City Manager.
Oh, they've been just since then. I've had never, because I think I got my point across, because I told her, I said, the other lady's lid was sticking straight up in the air and they dumped that one, so.
But you still remember it. See
I
how that
remember it.
hangs on, even though they're doing a good job now, and it still sticks.
Some policy changes on that.
Is there a way to segueing into a dumpster design where instead of having locks that you've got to share with every business, because we all share bids, is there a way to design the lid that maybe it has a hole in the top, that the whole lid doesn't open? It stays locked, so when you have to put your trash in, you have to put it in the hole, but when trash comes, they have a locking magnetic lock on it that will flip it up.
I don't think you can do that because when it rains, the water gets in there.
Yeah.
You
Environment.
could put
That's
a
a good-
flat
that's a
one,
good-
but you could put a
We
flat.
put drains on the bottom.
They're all open now.
They are all open.
But-
They don't close after they dump them.
Purposely for it now. it's an
Now it's-
environmental issue.
That's not a
I
bad.
think it's an
that- that-
excellent idea.
That would actually eliminate a lot of the big stuff that gets dumped.
It would eliminate that. It would possibly eliminate, I mean, not to say that somebody won't crawl in there, but it makes it
Makes
more
stuff.
difficult to crawl in there and pull stuff
Yeah.
out.
But yeah, sometimes it's the big stuff that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's what, I don't even care if somebody puts something in there as long as it doesn't fill the bin up and we can all do our thing. And when somebody throws in a little refrigerator or, beds and junk like that, then it creates a problem for and what happens with everybody that shares, because at that point, nobody is accountable or responsible, is that that's when things start getting ugly in the alley. Because they'll just throw this stuff up there, or they'll put it on the side and they'll wait for the dumpster, and the dumpster guy's not gonna pick up the trash that's on the side.
You know,
So who's gonna do it? I'll tell you who's gonna do it, Rob's gonna do it. So yeah, if there was, a way that those that share the dumpsters could share in any additional cost, if that was necessary. It'd be great, like you said, if everyone picked up, everything was just picked up on schedule, then we really.
Yeah,
wouldn't
so
have
that's
much of a
the
problem.
exception rule. We'll have to talk about exceptions, but let's go after the root.
But that would be the.
And the more we address the root causes, like the folks that are there causing the trash problem, and we're all working together as neighbors to help each other, most of this problem goes away. And that's where we want to go. And then we'll work directly with our city to make sure that we have a combined or a connected focus, both from the customer and from the city, to make sure that happens.
And maybe another. We all need another letter from the city that explains the rules when it comes to sharing dumpsters, and
Okay.
especially the blue one where boxes need to be broken down. I share a dumpster with a lot of folks that have big boxes, and they
Maybe a
don't,
sign on.
they're not, a lot of times they don't break them down. And again, that takes up a lot of space, things start to pile up. The guy doesn't come by. I pay a guy $100 a month to clean our alley once a week. And then we do it ourselves sometimes. I know Sam likes to walk down that way a lot, and I try to keep it clean as I can. But,
It's gotten better.
Things out there are scary.
yeah, well, that's the other
You
part
gotta
of it.
put a white
You
suit
talk
on
about,
to clean.
The alleyways at nighttime. And we talked about that. Yeah, ours is a toilet. I've caught an entire family out there. But, kids and here. But, the safety of my employees that come to work early in the morning when it's dark and leave at night when it's dark. We've actually had to put up extra cameras and a big TV, monitor inside the shop. So before they go outside, they can look and see what's going on. Because
I do that
the
too.
stories, I'm going to the story, things that they've seen, but
We put up motion lights so we can tell through
That's-
the window if the lights come on, we know something's out
it's
there.
not as bad as it was. But again, going back to what you said, Ed, about, if something happened a year ago and one of my young ladies witnessed something they shouldn't have, and that's gonna stick with the vote.
We had the same issue at the vault too. The guy was out front masturbating to the customers walking in. And it's the same instance that I believe you had happen in your alleyway as well, when your employees are trying to go to work. Yeah. It's
Hasn't happened in a while.
That's a crime. So we're going to continue to focus on that.
But yeah, the safety of my employees and the customers that come through the back door now, because we have a back door that you can walk into the shop is.
This is a great discussion. So I wrote down what I heard. Let me go back and summarize this and see if you guys have similar ideas. It's another form of brainstorming. We're just kind of open-ended here, having a great conversation. So I wrote down that we have people that are sleeping in our trash enclosures. That's a problem. We have people that, an opportunity for locking the trash cans so we can prevent illegal dumping, which connects to this idea of maybe customizing the tops, which might help. We also were talking about the alleyway trash. So could we patrol that more? We want it safe and clean. Bins that aren't picked up or street sweeping, that could be an option. to help to get the alleyways restored to a level of cleanliness because they're not as clean as they
Do
ought
they
to be.
sweep, they sweep those, Rich? Every
The
so often?
alleys?
Yeah.
No,
I don't think the alleys, no.
I've never seen the sweep.
Dumpster, I mean, and I don't know if that's an option. I don't know if that's an option, but it's certainly something.
Well, something to look at.
Yeah, let's look at that. I don't know if it's an option or not, but we'll have some form of cleaning, I think. Dumpster rules. I like the idea of reframing the rules. I love this, and Rob, you continue to bring this up, and I like this. Not big on bureaucracy, but if you set expectations, you can get those things done. And so when you put those rules out there, if they're simple enough, and maybe we need to refine them. I don't want a rule book. The basic rules at least, then we set expectations and then everyone works together towards the same goal. And that's what I like about that idea. And you've said it twice, we've had it on the other two. So thank you for that. This is a good way to change culture because now you get everybody working together. We want to be an empowerment culture. We don't want to be telling people you did this wrong. We want to encourage people when they do things right. So we have exceptions to the rules. Where when we don't have something dumped or there's some trash out there, we have to talk about that at some point. These are the ideas I heard in this conversation. Are there any others? When we talk about alleys and trash cans, and maybe we can take this back as an action item and come back with some recommendations in a future meeting to talk about how we tackle these things.
I think when you start talking about rules, you got to figure out how you're gonna enforce those rules.
That's why I brought up an extra code enforcer for the downtown to make all of Main Street 2-hour parking. They can watch that, plus they can also watch the dumpsters and things of that nature and patrol that as well.
So I think this might come out maybe as we go through several meetings, the focal points that we'll have, and they'll touch different things, and we can maybe have some synergy with our enforcement. But the expectations works together for that too, because you don't want to set up a world where everybody's just afraid of what the code enforcement guy's going to say. We have to be a community, and unity and engagement is what we're talking about here. And if we do this well and we continue to call each other out when we fall short, that will be helpful too. So anything else you guys want to talk about on alleyways and trash enclosures?
Would it be beneficial to have them all locked and then do one key for all of them?
Master key.
One business.
I like that
for
idea.
all the business owners. That way the city's not replacing the locks and, oh, I lost my key, this and that, and you gotta go find it, or you have to rekey it. Just make them all one master key.
Well, yeah, from what I understand, the city doesn't put the locks on. You're responsible for purchasing the lock, was what I was told. I had to purchase the lock. Put it on.
I think I should be able to get it locked.
And then I have to share that lock with everybody else I share my bin with. And then when that business moves out, they still either have a key. So now they're still bringing stuff down to dump, or they still have the code, and then it's a hard cycle.
Then the trash people don't need a key. They just pick it up when it tilts, it opens it. the
Yeah,
lock.
it's got the magnetic lock on it. I
That's the-
tried the blocks on
Oh.
the apartment complexes that I do. Because we had the big dumping problem in alleyways and stuff. And it was an utter fail. I tried it on the St. James apartments, which are right across the street. Utter fail. Because we had to back and forth with a couple of the other businesses as to things being done.
Right, so kind of thinking ahead, there's some things that don't work.
Yeah.
You know, Thomas Sowell, the great author, said that there really are no solutions, there are only trade-offs. So if we can figure out what is the best trade-off, and even though it might have some things that don't work right, we'll go in those directions. So I think we can make some recommendations based on the feedback from this team, and you guys have a lot of firsthand experience. And I think we can work closely with our folks that operate down in that area to come up with something that we could look at together and then maybe vote on and push forward. That sound good, city manager?
Sir?
Stan, what do you think?
We're still talking about the
I'm just,
dumpsters?
yeah, I'm just summarizing. No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying we're done talking about dumpsters unless you have anything else.
No, I just had an idea of something that we used to do on, where we had C trains on like ranches that were far away from the central location. You know, constantly I was getting broken into, you know, over the years, you can't, okay, well, let's try this, and it doesn't. They'll figure out another way to defeat it. One thing that works really well is finally figured out where they can't get because they were breaking the locks more than they were breaking the apparatus. So we take like a 3-inch piece of square tubing, pretty thick wall tubing, at about that where it's hard to get like a torch or a crowbar or anything. You can't get it in there to bust the lock or break the shackle. And then of course you've got like, and you're hinged on the other end of the C train. So when you pull, how do we do that? So it went through just there was a piece of flat bar on the end of it, slotted out where the bar would slide into it, and you slide it through, reach in there and lock it. But then you people have to deal with
I was gonna say, then you've
with a
got,
piece there with the bar. I just think of that. I'm just throwing it out there because I don't think that's all that practical, but maybe there's some other way that you can make it practical. I'm not, you know.
All right, good suggestion. All right, we'll move on. Larissa,
Cause I think Rich has got, you've
any
probably
other
got some
comments?
pretty good
David
people
Holmes
that
just
come
called
up
me.
with
I'm
some
asking
ideas
if he
how
wants
to
me
make
to put
something
him on
like
speaker.
something similar to that work.
Why not? Hi, Dave.
I didn't answer.
Oh. All right, we'll move on. Anything else on trash enclosures or anything, Larissa?
We got a comment from one of the members that they had to bring their blue bin in today because it didn't get picked up yesterday, so. I think that's already been explained or talked about.
Okay, look at that. Working real time for us, Rob. Look at that.
Guy's amazing. Love it.
Amazing.
That's why we gave him the
And
job.
if he doesn't do it, Donnie will get him. He's our deputy. He can take care of business.
Donnie's wallflower back
And he's
here.
over there just watching everybody. All right, Katie, you have anything else?
No.
Rob, anything else?
No, I missed the last meeting, but I did want to say, I thought that Pioneer Days was pretty amazing. Thought that went well. Even for us down the road, we had a banner day. I don't know how everybody else did, but for us, it was a banner day. And I would like to at least throw out the idea of, and maybe this happened and I don't know. Maybe a little more coordination with the other businesses downtown. We were late in even knowing that it was happening. And I finally reached out and it worked out for me. I'd like to see maybe the city might want to include somehow, maybe you did and I missed it, but a little more. I think we could probably get a little more participation.
That's why we love the
From the other
marquee.
downtown folks.
We had the Pioneer Days banner up there, which I think was really effective.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, the day of and what's going on and all the features are not clear. It's just a banner. Donnie, you have any comments on Rob's concern about communication, how we might better communicate with everyone downtown?
Check, we have that, I'm not sure how well the Porterville, like our newsletter, the electronic one that gets sent out by Eureka, our PIO, how well that hits people, but she's working on that right now for this next, that'll be coming out, I think, tomorrow, but we'll look at different ways.
Is there any cooperation with the chamber on it? Or is that
With
just?
that event?
Yeah.
no, that
Particular
is
one?
not true.
No, typically not with that event. I mean, Christy and I text and stuff all the time about different things, but that one's predominantly like all logistically and stuff is handled by the Parks and Leisure, not.
Yeah, just it feels like there's a separation there.
Well, there is.
Between the city and everybody else. So
There
it
is.
feels like they're almost, maybe the city doesn't want anybody else to be.
That's
involved.
perception. There's definitely a separation, and separation is important, but how do we close gaps? So
Yeah.
you're perceiving a gap. We want to look at what that gap is, we want to close it if we can.
Right. Now, like I said, for me, I'll be proactive. If I see something, I'm gonna make an effort to be involved, but I don't think a lot of places do that. But they would be involved if somehow there was, I mean, yeah. The sign out front, or the sign across, that's great. Yeah, But I don't think most of the business people on Main Street probably do that. Oh, I gotta participate in.
I think I got a flyer
Okay,
to put in our window of an
somebody must have
upcoming
brought that
event.
by, right?
Somebody from the city brought that
Somebody
by.
from the city, so maybe,
I
yeah, maybe
think I
that's
heard that in.
But it was only to ask if we would post it in our window.
not,
So-
not to participate.
Not to participate, no.
See, maybe that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Hey, here, if you wanna be a vendor, here you go.
Yeah.
Something like, maybe that's all
I
it
don't
is.
think
Because I-
anything.
I didn't realize they
Just
were
for
doing vendors either
Enhancing.
until I walked the event and saw vendors there. I thought it was just the rig cook-up.
Right.
I think over
Wow.
the years, there's been, different approaches to Pioneer Days and the location. I think in years past, it's grown, the size of it and, I guess as long as the local or downtown businesses are in with it and they're aware that there's gonna be a large community event and it could affect their businesses. If we expand it and grow it, I do want to be cautious of that, right? Saturdays could be a very important day for your business.
I think what Rob's generating Katie too, listening to them, is that they didn't even know that they could have a booth down.
Okay.
To be part of that event.
Yeah.
Got it.
Pioneer Days is way down here, their businesses are way down there, but they didn't know that that you could participate and have.
Aside from the rib cook-off, I knew I could participate in that. I didn't know they were having vendor booths until the day of, and I walked the event and went, oh, it's sort of a,
I think we would always encourage, additional participation and
Like I said, we ended up
sponsors.
having our ice cream cart down there.
Yeah,
So, I took care of business at the last minute, but and it worked, and I appreciate all that. But yeah, up until like, Thursday, it was, I
Didn't know.
I didn't know.
And you can use, and ice cream goes with everything, right? So anytime you're reacting and bring ice cream, that's a good day.
It always works.
got my attention.
Yeah, that's why we got it.
And
It was good, too.
beer plays a role in the evening, right?
Yeah, we're always continuously trying to improve, and so we definitely will evaluate that and expand and improve on getting the downtown business involved of upcoming events and ask if they'd like to participate. We're also strategizing on centralizing all of the information and activities that's happening throughout the community into one location. Because there's things happening on the chamber calendar. There's things happening on our community development.
creating
calendar.
like a community.
Yeah.
It's just a central information, and if you only want to see chamber information, you click that filter and only see, but if you want to see everything, then it shares what everything is going
That's been a
on.
problem
That's pretty
forever.
cool.
Right,
And I do love that it's downtown. I mean, it started out at Barton Park. And it went over here to Veterans. Or not Veterans, but
And with-
Zaled.
Mhm.
It's over Zaled, now it's downtown.
But it
I love
becomes,
that
I
it's
would
downtown.
also
Yeah.
like,
I do.
Go ahead.
on piggybacking on the Pioneer Days, you had asked everybody to attend the Redo It block party.
And come back with feedback.
And come back with feedback.
oh yeah, so can we hold that thought for a second? While I bring a thought?
You can put it in the parking lot.
What happens is, well, I want to get to the veterans parade. We're gonna run out of time, but I want to hear from the Redo It feedback too. I could talk all day. I just have an appointment. I know, Donnie, you have a monthly that you put out, right? From the city. Like, here's the monthly events, the monthly
Yeah,
calendar,
Eureka does.
which is like here's the refined. This is, you can give you the big calendar and then you have like, here's what's right in front of us calendar. I think when you put all that in one place electronically, it has the idea that it gets to everybody, but it's a diode, right? So it's a do it your own damn self and nobody looks it up. And so what we have to do is leverage the thing that we're doing where there's a reminder. It's all out there, but here's a reminder for those that aren't going to go and look it up. And I think we do that and we can refine it to close some of these gaps, because what we talked about in the last meeting was we can have events all the time. It's kind of the same idea. Well, there's a Pioneer Days event. How do we take advantage of the Pioneer event in the downtown area, even if it's not down in that area or whatever event it might be? So I think participating in that theme, whatever that theme is, whether it's a Redo It theme or a Pioneer theme or an Easter theme, if the other businesses downtown can participate in that, we want them to be part of that. So I think that's the goal. we haven't maybe said it enough lately, and let's refine that, because I think if we do that, then we become a destination. We're all kind of on the same theme when
Right.
everybody's on the.
You can see where there's a redo it, this chamber, whatever else is going on around. You can see where that would, if we're on the same page, we can share events.
Right.
Instead of have a bunch of, share events and have really good ones, instead of putting on individual events and have them be
Yeah.
mediocre.
Right, so you're saying that's on the redo it calendar?
Well, I'm just saying, I'm just
But
talking in
we,
general.
the bigger
The
calendar,
bigger
whatever that
calendar,
is, okay.
I love the idea. Technology today we can do that. It's a great excuse to say, oh, well, it's on the calendar, you can look at it. But that doesn't solve the problem of everybody participating. That's where we have to take that next step, like I said.
I like the idea, and we'll have to build some, they're gonna continue to be gaps here, but we gotta build on this because
Yeah.
we do flyers, but I remember hearing in some meetings that if you're not around, you don't get a flyer, and then all of a sudden now you're missing, you got gaps.
And what a great opportunity for if someone's dropping off a poster to promote the actual event
Yes.
at the same time. You're already there. Might as well take advantage of that face to face.
Yes, okay, I love this,
How did the flyers get out? How are they distributed?
There's two girls that walk down Main Street and hand them out.
Well, and out of any of this
Too
city,
bad there wasn't still paper boys, Ed, to get.
And they're having an
we would have
event,
done,
trick or
but we
treat.
tried to sell a newspaper while we.
Trick or treat
Back
with
then, it's
pups.
only what, 10 cents?
They came by with a flyer and
It's
that's true. There's,
this gets piled on your desk that you don't go through.
there.
there's a trunk or treat that I think the police department puts on.
Yes.
Trunk or treat that's coming up. I have candy to go donate to the police department. Is that at the park or is it at the police
No,
department?
they just do it right out here on D. They're gonna block
They
off
do
the
it
section.
between the parking lot and the police department and block that street off. And it's a drive-through, right? Oh, drive-through
This,
and. a
starting
walk-in
last year,
there?
they actually blocked a little section of D off.
Okay,
Yeah, so it'd be on D Street.
I love that, by the way. That doesn't everybody.
congregating.
Golfing after lunch or something?
Hey,
Huh?
I got my golf
You look
shirt
like
on.
you're all-
That come-
You look
I'm
like you're
ready.
all decked out for the golf course.
I love it.
Doesn't it?
If you're buying, we'll change our plans.
Gotta test out those greens, make sure they're okay on that. Parks director used to say.
Great conversation, you guys, and I like the laid back,
Hershey Kisses.
comfortable atmosphere that we have. And we're really able to stay together as a team. I want to get to the redo it, but I want to float an idea where this is a great topic segue for Veterans Parade. Right in front of us. It's a big item, one of the biggest, items in the valley, right? So we're gonna have it on television. We're gonna be doing all sorts of stuff downtown. Are there anything, we're not gonna be meeting again before the parade. Is there anything that we might talk about it to enhance the parade or just enhance our communication so we can better participate in that patriotic parade? I just wanted to open this up as a topic as we finish our meeting to see in the short term, how we build community unity engagement. Is there something we could do right in front of us for Veterans Parade? It's kind of a tall order, 5 minutes left to go on a meeting. I wanted to start here and we've had such good conversations. We'll just end here and then we'll talk about redo it for a minute. You don't have to have an idea, so I just throwing it out there to see. And then we could leave it with, we're gonna communicate well. We know the theme is patriotism and probably don't have a lot to do here, but Christmas is coming up and that'll be in the next meeting we talk about.
Well, maybe I'll just throw out an idea or share some conversations that we've had to help with the discussion. We're aware of I'll call them cart pushers that are coming from the outside, and we're updating our sidewalk vending ordinance to enforce that and hopefully remove any future issues. But I think it would be really nice, and we toyed around some incentives or promotional program, see if the Main Street businesses would support or supply the products for people that are attending the parade. They go in and buy the flag or whatever you're able to provide so that there isn't an opportunity for these sidewalk vendors to. So if we push out the sidewalk vendors, I think parades are just amazing when you have the lights and the flags that people can go to. It'd be nice that maybe the Main Street is the destination to get all your parade material, either before or during the parade. I think there's an opportunity as we make sure that there's no outside businesses coming in and taking away, but can the downtown businesses then be the place to pick up the.
I love that idea. My first thought was, how fun would it be to throw stuff out of the palace windows that have little parachutes with little something, little trinket of some sort at the end.
Yeah, that part is, I'm Debbie Downer, because I close that day. All my employees like to have.
Well, you could go up there and throw firecrackers.
Cheering.
That's a good idea, but would the downtown businesses be, or at least consider purchasing products for, or trinkets that parade goers can buy?
We've done that. We've given away little flags. You come in and buy, coffee or whatever, and we'll give you a little flag.
Yeah.
We've done that a couple of times.
This is an
I don't have any
excellent
trouble.
discussion. So let's continue to build on this, and it'll be a theme throughout our meetings, I think, as we go. There's all seasonal, but if we have kind of a template for how we might do each of those bigger seasons, and we
Is it
can
too late for
create
this year?
I don't think it's too late, and I think it would send a message to anyone that's coming from the outside of like trying to take an opportunity to sell all these things. But the downtown businesses are promoting that, hey, you can come and buy your balloons or flags or
If
whatever.
there's something, I'd like to have that, more of a discussion with you on that.
Okay.
We can put together something for sure.
Sure.
At least, somebody can be the experiment.
Patriotic approach.
Living out of a meeting.
I like that
I
idea.
didn't realize there was people coming in selling accoutrements for.
Well, I think we have
Little
vendors that
army menu used to buy that had a
come and
little.
sell food and stuff.
Yeah.
We're just talking about
Would that be, I think that.
Put me in there with a
Accoutrement type,
T-shirt.
you know, little trinket.
Oh, t-shirt, yeah, that's great.
T-shirts.
You know, it'd be great if you did it right in front of a float, so when a kid had to run out to the middle of the street to grab it.
No,
Last, well, I think
Confetti
what
on the top
happened
of
is that last Christmas,
Throw some confetti.
a whole bunch of the hot dog cart vendors descended on our Christmas parade
Right, I knew that.
and just started making money on our
Like
streets.
the Macy's parade.
We can't do
Yeah,
that.
no.
We could get that.
Well, we've got guys here, these guys that, have their little taco wagons and stuff here in town.
Well,
They
it
could
takes
do-
away from the atmosphere. It's a safety issue. It goes against the,
Sure.
our own brick and mortar. It's not a good thing. So we're gonna be working on that. I'm looking forward to those follow-up conversations. Katie, I didn't mean to put you up this long.
That's okay. You gotta wrap it up.
Do you guys want to spend some time talking about the lessons learned at the next meeting? Or maybe
Yeah, I mean,
just
it'd be a
touch on them?
good review of, the feedback we got. I mean, I sat and talked with a couple of the vendors that participated. We did some brainstorming with them on what they'd like to see. And it sort of tied in with what we've discussed in the past at this committee, car shows,
I have an idea.
a cruise night.
You guys ever heard of a straw man? Used to do this in executive world, and that is this. You have one person that starts a conversation and passes it around to the team, and then we all come together and talk about it. So we could do it as a homework assignment. If you want to start that and send it through the text or through email to our team, just say, here's the lessons learned that I received, and pass it along. And then we can all pass it to each other and then come back, and the brainstorming's done for us to discuss in the next meeting.
I'm curious, I was also curious to see how many of our committee members actually attended.
I was not there, so I'm gonna get a
I was gonna
pass.
say, I didn't see
I wasn't
you.
there.
I
I did hear things, but I don't want to weigh in on lessons learned because I wasn't there.
think Sam walked it
Back
once.
and forth.
You walked back and forth. He wasn't able to participate. He had his own event. Rob
Was there?
you were there late, but no, you were there.
It's always late.
But he had his ice
Thanks a lot,
cream.
Ed.
I'm just teasing you.
Larissa and I were there, but there was,
I'm
I
late.
think there were some lessons learned and some valuable insight as to what some of the people wanted to see. And the fact that they liked the event and was hoping we would do it more often.
Well, that's up for this committee to discuss. So that's your recommendation. If you want to put those together and send those out, I'd love to pass that around
Sure.
before the next meeting. That would be a good way to save time, and then we can all have a chance to spend some more time on it since we have to close the meeting today.
One quick thought. We're talking about bringing people downtown, so we're probably too late for Veterans Day parade, but Christmas parade. What if we came up with some sort of a way for us to advertise that all the stores will be open? An incentive to stay downtown after the parade, just throwing it out there because we don't have too much time. What time's the parade over? The nighttime parade, actually. They only allow 80 entries, so it doesn't.
Starts at 7.
It starts at
It
7.
doesn't start till 7. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry, I thought it
so-
was earlier. Never mind.
Doesn't
Probably not
really
a good
work.
idea.
No.
Unless we advertise before. I was just trying to create an event because people are. gonna
Oh,
be
come
downtown.
early and get a good seat,
Yeah, something
something like that. That might
And
work.
buy a chair
Yeah, or something.
per couch.
Dinner.
I'm gonna go buy some
Photos
chairs.
with Santa before he's in the parade.
That's a nice.
Come early, shop.
With Santa before he's in the parade.
We're gonna spend some of your burgers.
We're doing the Santa thing because everybody's like, there's 3 or 4 going on all the time.
I love
And
that.
there's no coordination.
No,
Santa's
but
everywhere.
Santa is everywhere, but I think if we did it downtown where one
Where's this place?
One Saturday it's at Larissa's, one Saturday at.
Because all the chairs.
Nobody knows that.
This is great. I hate to quench the spirit. Fernando, we're on track. We went through all of our items. We went through reports. We went through partnerships and events. We set some goals and objectives. We're gonna do a straw man. We're gonna end the meeting here, but I don't want to end the meeting without everyone getting a last word.
I'm good.
You okay?
I'm good.
Katie?
I'm okay.
Rob? Sam, you all right?
2 minutes of your time after this.
Okay. Alibi?
Yep, I'm good.
Got anything?
Right now.
Fernando? You're good. We can close this meeting. We're officially done. Thank you all for joining. We'll see you next month.